New breed, global truth.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love. They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repented. They hate the fact that we're truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks. With these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. New breed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
This is insane!
He's got Hulk Hogan in the air.
The crowd is losing their minds!
A royal suplex. Dirty Maga has lost it.
Someone is not happy right now! Cry! Cry a river, Maga!
New Breed is crushing all their heroes.
What's good, everybody? It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. What's happening, everybody? Hope everybody is feeling well. Do me a solid and tap that like button on your way in. We got a very pivotal broadcast for y'all this evening. Let's see. I see you brothers and sisters rolling in. Hey, I see Neela Williams in the building. I see Kima Queen is in the house. Champs v. Zion. Prayer Works is in the house. Yeah, I see y'all. Just Lovely B is in the building. We got to go in, y'all. Let me make sure my audio is coming through crispy and clear. Let me check my settings here one time for the one time. It looks like we're good. We got to talk about Hulk Hogan, right? Not only that, we got to understand that racists die every day, B. But only the bootlickers are really mourning these people, right? And I want to talk about that because every time something happens in the media, you got these tethers, you got these Sambos, you got these turncoats and Uncle Toms wagging their fingers at black people trying to tell us how we should feel, right? And it gets a bit overwhelming to some because it's like, listen, Black America kept the receipts and they decided that they was not going to mourn Hulk Hogan. And I'm going to reinforce the reasons why, because he has a history of racism, outright racism. And we're going to go through it, y'all. It's a whole lot going on in the media when it comes to Hulk Hogan and his whole family dynamic, and what you will find out is it's not just Hulk Hogan, it's the WWE as a whole, at least during that time. And when I say during that time, I mean a couple decades back, but we'll get into that, right? Now, let's see what Booker T had to say back in 2019 when a lot of Hulk Hogan's candid conversations was aired to the public. And I want to just point out, this is what they do. They always got to have a token. That's how they do. You got to have the token Negro speak up on behalf, not only for Hulk Hogan, but for the WWE. And that's exactly what they use Booker T for, right? Now, we're just going to play what he had to say, and then I'm going to be bringing y'all some real edification when it comes to this whole matter, right? Let's go.
Hi, Booker.
What's
Just
up,
want to
kid?
say, huge fan.
Chucky Ducky.
And we were just talking before about your most embarrassing moments. I just wanted to know, what was the backlash of that? Did Bischoff or Turner have a go at you?
By the way, Booker T, he used to do a lot of cooning on WWE. He used to, even just greeting the people. We talking about Shucky Ducky. Come on, man, let's go.
That's the crazy thing. I just had Hulk Hogan on my radio show last week.
Batteries are going.
Thank you.
Sorry, mic change.
Testing. I just had Hulk Hogan on my radio show just last week, and people labeled Hulk Hogan a racist when that happened. Not when that happened, but when he made his comments and whatnot, people label him a racist. And I say, you normally know a racist by the people that they hang with, their friends. You normally know a racist by, their kids.
Now, I want to freeze it right there. He said, you normally know a racist by their kids. Now, I want y'all to keep that in mind. Timestamp that. Take a mental note of that. All right, let's go.
And I said at that moment when I said that about Hulk Hogan, I said, man, that was a moment right there for Hulk Hogan. If he was a racist, I said a racist would have said, man, I'm going to get this sucker fired. I'm gonna do my best to get him out of here. A racist.
He's saying that because Booker T accidentally slipped up and said the N-word during a live broadcast, right? So what he's saying is, with all the power that Hulk Hogan had, if Hogan was racist, he would have got him fired for that, right? Now let's go.
Would have said, man, I'm gonna have him working for me now. That's what a racist would have did. But I asked Hulk Hogan, why didn't he get me fired? Why didn't he go to the office and lobby to get me out of there? And he goes, it was like he was in shock. He was like, brother, I heard that word, many times, so it wasn't anything. He said, and
No, what Hogan meant to say is, brother, I used that word many times. That's what he meant to say. He meant to say, oh, we're not worried about that. We use that all the time. Don't you even worry about it.
most of all, I wouldn't go and try to get another one of the wrestlers fired, as well as the following day in catering. It's crazy. Macho Man Savage, Hulk Hogan, my brother and myself, we're in catering, and Macho Man Savage sees Hulk Hogan. He says, Hulk, what do you think about Booker T calling you the N-word? And Hulk Hogan goes, well, if I'm an N-word, I'm a good N-word. And that was it. And Hulk Hogan and I, from that moment in the 90s, we never spoke about that until just last week on my radio show. That's how irrelevant it really was.
Right. Because Booker T had a Freudian slip on camera. You know, that's the example they had to use of Hulk Hogan not being racist. Now, I wanted y'all to take a mental note of him saying know them by the kids, right? Now, I'm about to bring up some very interesting sources here. First and foremost, I want to show y'all that in brink of Hulk Hogan's death, Brooke Hogan was not invited to the WWE memorial of Hogan, right? Which is quite interesting. Quite interesting. And if you go here to Complex Magazine, Hulk Hogan's daughter on criticism over absence from memorial, she says the WWE did not extend an invite. So Brooke Hogan clapped back at a lot of those people. Now, why wasn't Brooke Hogan invited? Why? Because a lot of the racist fire, if that's what we're going to call it, a lot of the backlash that Hogan has been dealing with, even after death, they're attributing that to Brooke Hogan and her relationship with a black man. Not to mention, so I just wanted to show that she wasn't even invited, which points to deep racism within the WWE, right? She wasn't even invited, all right? Now, on top of that, keep in mind, Booker T said you would know them by the kids. I did y'all a solid, right? And what I did was I went and found the transcript of a 911, not a 911 call, but a prison call between Hulk Hogan and his son, Nick. Right? And I thought I would share y'all the transcript of this very interesting phone call they had. And this recording has surfaced. And this was, let me see, Hulk Hogan apologized repeatedly for using the N-word in 2007 sex tape scandal. But another recording has surfaced that captured a famous wrestler making racially fueled comments over a jailhouse phone calls to his son, Nick, back in May 2008. So you want to know them by the children, right? Let's see what Nick thinks of black folks, not just Hulk Hogan, but his son. I want y'all to see this transcript right here. Because a lot of people are saying, you know, Hulk Hogan found Jesus and all of this other stuff. And we know he found white Jesus because Jesus Christ is really black, written of in the scriptures. Hair of wool and skin of bronze, right? But let's get to it. It reads like this. Hogan calls his son the N-word and Nick does not repeat the exact word. You and me been sitting on some serious phone dialogue here, N-word, Hogan said. Yeah, nibba, Nick said. N-word, that means that you are my best friend, said Hogan. Nick was serving an 8-month sentence for a car crash and left his friend John Grazimo permanently disabled in another phone call. Hogan talks about God and reincarnation. He says, quote unquote, you know that God gave you the vibe and this energy that you and I are going to live forever, bro. He said, I just hope we don't come back as a couple of, I don't want to say the word, Blizzak Gizeyes. You know what I'm saying? Brutal. Nick responded after they both laughed. Oh, they both laughed. They both laughed. They found it comedic. They thought it was funny. They think it, listen, we talking, the irony of all of this is we talking about Hulk Hogan. He didn't already crossed over. And hell for Hulk Hogan is not burning in flames. It's not, you know what I'm saying, going to hell, right? But it's actually coming back as a black person. And see, this is why you got to look out for some of these Southern Baptist Christians, right? This is why you got to, and I'm talking about the white Southern Baptist Christians. Yeah, he literally believed that being black was a curse from God. So, you know, while people are sitting here mourning over Hulk Hogan, you know, I'm just going to keep hitting y'all with these body slams.
This is insane! He's got Hulk Hogan in the air. The crowd is losing their minds! A royal suplex. Dirty Maga has lost it. Someone is not happy right now. Cry! Cry a river, Maga! New Breed is crushing all their heroes.
I know they upset. I get it. You got these grown ass men crying over Hulk Hogan. They crying, shedding tears. You know, they really in their feelings. Even though the Bible says, look, when you was a child, you think as a child. When you become an adult, you put away childish things. And their whole argument is that, when I watched Hulk Hogan ripping his shirt open, when we was kids, and, he was my hero. He was my hero. It's just like, come on, man. Y'all got to cut it out. And then the fact that they want to point and wave the finger at people who just don't want to mourn the guy. Right. And that's what these Mormon people also believe, that it's a curse. The Mormons believe that it's a curse to be born black. And Hulk Hogan thought the same thing. And that's a very strong ideology that is believed in a lot of these racist circles. Very strong ideology. It goes on to say, Nick responded after they both laughed. Hogan also talked to Nick about possibly being transferred from the adult jail to juvenile hall down in St. Pete. And it's mixed race, and we get along with everybody, so that's fine, Nick said. Hulk said, your mom went there and said it was mainly blacks. And you know what I'm saying? So he's mocking black people. Nick said. Hulk responded, and that's some of the ladies there that, run the school are nice Blizzak ladies, question mark. So he's literally mocking our people. Mocking. Now, look, I'm going to just tell y'all like this. Am I disappointed in Hulk Hogan's behavior? No, I'm not, because I expect that from these individuals. I'm going to take it a step further and say they all get down like this. They all get down like that. So I'm not disappointed. How do I know they all get down like that? Let me go to none other than Bret Hart. Y'all remember Bret Hart had some choice words after the scandal. And these choice words that Bret Hart had to say reveals that all of the white wrestlers were racist. Yeah, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, all of them. All of them. All of the ones that deflected. Bret Hart was the only one who exposed it. That's why you won't find too many white wrestlers speaking out against it. I mean, and look, at the end of the day, what do we expect? It's a predominantly white sport. Not too many black folks wanted to be professional wrestlers like that when it first all started. Just like when we went to the monster truck shows and stuff, we knew it was a bunch of rednecks there. It is what it is, but we wanted to go enjoy the show. Right? But nonetheless, I want y'all to hear what Bret Hart had to say. Bret Hart says, I can say that through my experience that a vast majority, of course not all of them, but a vast majority of the white Southern wrestlers tend to be a little bit racist all the time. And the N-word was frequently used by a lot of wrestlers in the dressing room when there was a black guy not around. Yeah, they would call him Booker T the N-word. Even though he on stage talking about shucky ducky and all of that, cooning, being humiliated a lot of the times, they were calling him that. I guarantee it. It says the N-word was frequently used by a lot of wrestlers in the dressing room when there was a black guy not around, kind of thing. And being a Canadian, I found that really difficult. I didn't see eye to eye with that kind of stuff and never felt like that. And I've never been in the kind of mindset, but for Hulk to make the comments that he made, that is something, if you had a camera, that most in the dressing room that are Southern wrestlers from Florida, a lot of them from Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, Texas, you get a lot of that kind of slant on things. And I'm kind of glad he got busted for that reason. That times have changed, and you have to answer for stuff like that, and he's answering for it. He's probably glad that Roddy Piper passed away because he took all the edge off of all that. So as you can see, Bret the Hitman Hart, he put it out there. He let it be known that, all of these guys are like that. So, when you look at the WWE now, I believe it's probably in a better place. You see black wrestlers who are not cooning like Booker T is. You don't really see that as much. Of course, you see a little bit of it, but they got certain black women wrestlers, couple people out there who are not feeding into negative stereotypes. So we're talking about a different time span, and somebody said Next got a lot of black wrestlers on top. Fire. Yeah, so we're talking about a different time, and but we can't dispute that Hulk Hogan was racist. He was racist. Not even too long before he died in 2024, we had this situation right here in 2024. So, let me bring this up. Where he fired a brand ambassador. And the brand ambassador accused him of firing her just because she was black.
Hulk Hogan fired a brand ambassador because she was black, dark complected, more so than he wanted.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you.
For the person that says nobody cares about this, but you're watching, let me do you a solid. Let's just wrap you up and pack you up. Let's go.
Now back to the show.
Put it up full mass. Oh, here we go. We already know how Hulk Hogan feels about black women dating one of his children. So we already know that. That recording's out there. Influencer Essence, Janai, has made allegations against Hulk Hogan that she was fired from her position as a brand ambassador for Hogan's, quote, real American beer, end quote, business due to her being black. According to this influencer via her TikTok, her contract was supposed to last a week, but after promoting the brand for just one day on July 2nd, Hogan canceled the contract, okay? So she revealed that she was replaced immediately by other brand ambassadors.
Exactly. So, hey, it should be obvious what Hulk Hogan was standing on. You know, he was a white nationalist. He was going hard for Donald Trump. He was one of those MAGA guys. And you had the other day, what is the boy's name, man? The guy who played Remy he played Remy in Higher Learning. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I forget his damn name, but once y'all give me that name, I'll break it down to you what happened with him not too long ago. But nonetheless, Hulk Hogan was one of these guys that was, he was just a good old boy, and we're in a time now where our people are not mourning over that individual. Only the tethers and the raccoons come wagging their fingers, honestly. And then also, not too long ago, Brooke Hogan, she asked to be taken off Hulk Hogan's will. That's another thing that just took place. Michael Rappaport. Yeah, you had Michael Rappaport. He kind of copped a plea, at least so it seemed. And he took back what he said, giving reverence to Hulk Hogan. I'm going to tell you, Rappaport, the only reason he copped that plea is not because black folks intimidated him or any of that. Only reason Rappaport did that is because the small hats called him, because, Rappaport is one of them. The small hats hit him up and they told him, look, you're supporting white supremacy. We're not with that. What are you doing? Listen, you're a Jew. You're Jewish. Why are you over there, getting involved? Go over there and cater to those Negroes. Cater to them. If you don't go over there and tickle those Negroes' ears. See, Rappaport didn't know what the hell was going on. He had to get that phone call. Thank you for the support. Roland Curtis, I appreciate it. Says Bret Hart is a real one. Bret is married to Stephanie Washington. Stephanie Washington is beautiful, Caramel's sister, and they've been married for 15 years. Yeah, I didn't know that. Interesting. So Bret Hart would keep it a buck if he's married to a sister. Yeah, they said Joey Swole and Rob DeSantis facing backlash. Now they're retracted. Yeah, they're retracting because you got a guy who was racist since the 70s. And, my whole objective is to really point out, the hypocrisy of a lot of these tethers and these Sambos, really. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, let's go.
Ambassadors on July 3rd who were white. She also shared a text message from Hogan's team stating that Hogan wanted to cancel the events completely. Quote, her agent wrote, Essence, you didn't do anything wrong at all. In fact, I'm sure you did great. But this client wants us to cancel the rest of the event this week. I'm really sorry.
He tried to cover his tracks. He told they didn't have a reason to fire her. So Hogan told his team to say, look, we're going to cancel the whole event. Just tell her we're going to cancel the event. Maybe she won't know about it. So this is clearly discrimination. And this was in 2024 after he was reintroduced or reinducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. Let's go.
So she replied, oh my God, what happened? Are they only taking me off of the events or are they canceling the events completely? Her agent replied, all the rest of the events are canceled completely. Okay. However, she would post a picture of continued events with new all-white ambassadors.
Would you look at that? He said, look, y'all can't be having no black chick. Y'all can't be having no black woman representing my good old American beer. He was like, absolutely not. Since we don't have a reason to fire her, what we're going to do is we're going to tell her it was canceled and we're going to have our own models. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not upset with Hulk Hogan. He's just doing what he's doing. But then when you have people not mourn him, and then want to wave the finger and point the finger, listen, you're going to get hit with a body slam.
This is insane! He's got Hulk Hogan in the air. The crowd is losing their minds! A royal suplex. Dirty Maga has lost it. Someone is not happy right now. Cry! Cry a river, Maga! New Breed is crushing all their heroes.
Yeah, we gonna crush all your heroes. I seen this one creator on here talking about he was crying. One guy on here was talking about he cried when Hulk Hogan died. And he said, you black folks, no, y'all the racist. Because, you know, they always pushing the goalposts. They're always moving the goalposts. We delineate. We sit back and say, you know, we don't want to mourn this guy. They say, you black people are racist. Do you know what Hogan did? He had the title 16 times. He was the greatest wrestler. Like, we don't care. We don't care. Yeah, he went and hired those white girls throwing the Baphomet signs up. Like, it is what it is. Telling you.
Previous scandal. So according to joint investigation by the National Enquirer, RadarOnline.com, Mr. Bowley, 6 of 1, was caught on an unauthorized sex tape saying that he was a racist to a point. He followed the comment with that, you know, the N-word. The publication says that transcripts of the tape have been filed in the Florida court in an attempt to seal his words from the public, but that tape's content had been confirmed with several sources.
Yeah, they were trying to seal those prison tapes. See, anytime Hulk Hogan don't think nobody's listening, anytime he thinks nobody's listening, he's dropping racial slurs. Anytime. And he just keeps getting caught. Why? Because the Most High want was done in the dark to come to the light in this situation. I'm telling you, it is what it is. And they always pushing the envelope and saying that we're disrespecting him in his grave. No. You're changing the argument. You're changing the argument. This is not about disrespect. This is about us delineating, asking a question. Do we mourn this guy? The answer is no.
Quote, I guess we're all a little racist. He is reported to have said on the tape while discussing his suspicions that his daughter Brooke had been intimate with a black man. Back in 2015, he issued an apology over it. Quote, he said, hey.
Now, speaking of Brooke, we're going to go there. Because Brooke asked to be taken off the Hawks' will. Yeah. Yeah, she don't even want no part of that racist ass blood money. Shout out to Brooke Hogan. Brooke Hogan, she started getting with the brothers. Hulk Hogan had a problem with that. Y'all know how it is in good old America, man. That's what America about right here. Brooke know her daddy. Brooke know her daddy. So Brooke, she asked to be taken off the Hawk's will with receiving nothing from his estate. Nothing. Now, she's saying that Hulk just had too many people around him that she didn't want to deal with. But let's get up on this. Let's see what's happening here. Hold on one moment. Brooke Hogan is in deep grief over the loss of her dad, Hulk Hogan, after his passing last week. But when it comes to his massive estate, she chosen to remove herself and stay out of all the legal proceedings. Sources close to Brooke tell TMZ that in 2023, she asked to be removed from Hulk's will because she didn't trust a single person around him and didn't want to get caught up in a financial battle when he passed. Now listen, hold on. This speaks volumes in itself. Because what type of people are around him? It must be some real treacherous, schemy, janky individuals around Hulk Hogan. And Brooke, for obvious reasons, don't want to tell you the real reason she got herself off that wheel. And it's the same reason she wasn't invited to the WWE memorial service that they had for Hulk Hogan. She wasn't invited. She wasn't welcome there. Why? Because she's not standing in solidarity in racism. She don't want the dirty money. Now, these are the type of things you got to look at, because Booker T said, look at what goes on with their children, with the kids. Brooke don't even want no part of the Hogan dynasty. She don't want no part of the legacy at all. And the son, Nick, is just as racist as Hogan. They were on the phone laughing it up about N-words. Goes on to say, Brooke Satin, he didn't trust her to have his back, but bottom line, she never been about money and won't be getting any from his estate. And she's totally okay with it. Look, is that Hogan right there again, throwing up the damn Baphomet? But y'all keep talking about how much of a Christian he is, how much of a man of God he is. But every chance he get, he throwing up the damn devil horns. It goes on to say she will receive some money from a small life insurance trust that Hulk took out, which Brooke is one of the beneficiaries. She's grateful for that and plans to put it towards her kids' college fund, right? But she ain't want no part of the generational wealth. But she ain't stupid either. She not stupid either. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine this. All of the Hulkamaniacs out here. Brooke Hogan don't even want to be a part of the estate. She don't want no money back. And they mad because we feel like this.
Hulk Hogan got booed out the building.
I was one of them. I'll show you the video.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Me, Eric Andre, and Wale was giving it to him.
love it.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, I don't,
But why though? Oh, so if you don't mind me asking, but why?
The nigga hating.
Okay.
Okay.
The racism, bro.
Yeah.
It's just hard to forget how detailed that rant was. And if you look up his rant, it's very detailed. And, I get a lot of people online who are like, oh, well, he would be mad if he found out about that whole generation. Yeah, well, when I find out, I'll be mad. But like right now, yeah, bro, bringing them out here, what did you think was going to happen? In LA, we heard the music and it was like, no, hold on. And they let him have it. And that's a pivotal moment in wrestling history.
That is big moment.
And I'm glad I was there. And I was.
Yeah. And this brother had to deal with pushback simply because he decided, he wasn't going to be a Hawk fan because of the nigga hatred. It is what it is. People feel some type of way about how black people are reacting to the death of Hulk Hogan. But at the end of the day, we're not really mad. We're just saying we're going to be delineating in these situations. That's all. And, I'm not going to stream live very long on this. I don't really find the need to. Hulk Hogan has a history of racism. It is what it is. There's actually some breaking news right now, so I'm probably be right back. There's some breaking news going on right now with Trump, and I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. But we'll be back in a heartbeat, because I know some of y'all waited in a queue for a while for this one, but don't worry about it. I'll be right back with more material. Y'all have a blessed one. Till next time. Peace.